Yo! Just made the turn. Oh, the big fucking yawn. I'll get to that in a second. But welcome to the Off Base Podcast, the podcast carefully crafted to remind you to suck a fat one if you think you're the only one. Because I know I'm not. Who am I? I'm your host. I'm the Rocky Mountain no-name Jackass, and it's 67 degrees in Aurora, Colorado at 4:09 p.m. on December the 1st, 2021. Jesus Christ, the sun is fucking bright. 67, man. This is wild. Gotta open a window a little bit. Put on a little bit of air. 67 fucking degrees. What the fuck? So, yeah, as far as the yawning goes, and it feels like I'm gonna yawn some more. Holy hell. I don't know what the fuck it is. Now, my sleep hasn't been, like, fantastic. I've been getting approximately, 6 to 7 hours. But somewhere around 1 o'clock today, I just fucking son. I just felt like ass. At about 1 o'clock, I was like, Jesus Christ, I was dragging hard. Work-wise, though, I actually had a meeting with my manager and found out something incredible today. Now, I have been in the workforce. I will say how shall we call it? Because, when you're in graduate school, you're constantly working. You're basically doing someone else's research, and then they're paying for your education so that you get a master's or a doctorate. I actually don't know how it works with master's degrees, but in the sciences, because I went to school for organic chemistry, once you pass an examination after your second year, you're basically in the lab all the time, conducting the experiments that your advisor has drawn out for you. And it's a great freaking gig. You basically get paid to go to graduate school. Like I said, I don't know how it is for other disciplines, but in chemistry, it was fucking awesome. And I had a great advisor. I wish I had kept in contact with him a little bit more. He's at the University of Virginia. Anyway, what the fuck was I talking about? How did I get on this topic? Oh, yeah, so when I graduated college, which was, I graduated college, 98? Yeah, 98, 97 I think it was, until 2002. So from age roughly 22 to 27, I was doing my graduate work. Well, I'm 47 now, so I've been officially in the workforce for 2 decades. And I started out, I taught a year at James Madison University. It was fucking fantastic. I had incredible students at James Madison University, motivated students. They were not, probably like 5% of them, and it was a class of 150 kids. Probably like 5% of them were whiny, and they didn't last. Because I did not tolerate that shit. You're gonna step into my class, you're going to work. And then I taught 4 years of high school, and I'm going to tell you something straight out. I am not a high school teacher. I am not equipped to deal with high school students. When you're in college, you're there for a fucking reason. You're specializing in a specific discipline. So you better get your shit together. But high school, you fuck around. You don't know what the hell you want to be. And your job as a high school teacher, at least from my perspective, the main part of the job, yeah, you're teaching the content, but you're teaching these kids how to behave. Our next door neighbor, when we were in Texas, had a great way of describing it. When we lived there, she had teenage girls who, over the period of the 7 years that we were there, went from the teenage stage to the college stage. And she had 2 twin daughters, and then one that was younger than them by a year. So it was 3 girls, roughly, a year and a half apart. She used to describe them as, when they turned teens, as assholes learning not to be. I think that's the way she described it. I may have butchered that, but that was the general sentiment. And that's why I wasn't a good high school teacher, because I did not have the training to deal with assholes learning not to be. I had the training to deal with chemistry and how to teach those concepts, and how fascinating they were to me and how fascinating they could be to somebody who was being exposed to them for the first time. So I did not, last in that particular profession very long. I taught 4 years of high school, and it was also during the time where I married my first wife. So there was a lot of shit that I was going through. Shit that I was trying to figure out. But then, shortly after that, then I got a job in the private sector. And dude, private sector work was so much better than working in education. You really got to understand business principles almost immediately, and where you fit in the overall scheme of the company or the firm, and what your role was and how you can contribute to the bottom line. It's fucking phenomenal. And I'm still working for the same company to this day. Very, very thankful for my opportunity to work with them. But the bottom line being that in those 20 years that I've been working basically in the private sector, I've never, what we've always received from whoever our employer was a specific allotment of vacation days. And that used to increase with seniority. If you've been with the company more than 5 years, let's say, you got 15 vacation days a year. After 5 years, maybe it gets bumped up to 20. And then maybe after a couple more, it gets bumped up, by another week or so. But it would never go past a certain point, because, the business needs to operate, right? You need people there to be running the machines. And in most cases nowadays, you need people there to be hitting the keyboards or hitting the keystrokes or making sure that all of the internet and computer-related stuff is operational. What I found out today from my manager when I met with him is something that still has me in a little bit of shock. And I don't know if anybody else out there has adopted these types of policies with regards to leave, but we basically have now instituted at my company unlimited leave. Yeah, you heard that correctly. Unlimited leave. Now, somebody like me who has 3 children as well as a wife, and we have certain things that we want to do in our lives that we're going to need money for, there's no way I'm going to abuse something like that. Because every day when I turn my machine on and start working, I put my best foot forward that I can, because I know where my role is with regards to how I fit in the company. And I've been there for so long. A lot of our clients, they don't know my team, they know me. So I have a lot of responsibility and reliability in that sense. But I started to think about people who come into our firm, and I'm like, if they're young, they right out of college maybe, or 25, maybe they've been 2-3 years in the workforce, somewhere around there, I could easily see somebody just fucking abusing the shit out of the idea of unlimited leave. Like taking like a week off every month or 2, like a week and a half every month. To be like, are you kidding me? And still get paid the same fucking salary. It just blows my mind. My manager and I talked about it, and he was like, yeah, I got absolutely no problem with you when he was talking with me. But he said after talking with other managers and other people, they think that they'll have a handle on it. They think that the managers and the employees will be vigilant enough to police themselves. And even just thinking about it now, I'm like, there's no fucking way, man. There's no fucking way, because not everybody out there starts their job in the morning recognizing their responsibility and their reliabilities. And I'm not saying I'm found some fucking prize, because I'm not. I just know that my family's counting on me. And if you don't have a family that's counting on you, well, what the fuck do you care? You just go get a job someplace else that has even more unlimited leave, if that's even possible, right? I don't know. I'm still taking that in. My wife will be ecstatic about that, though, because she actually has a little bit of extra leave saved up herself over the years. I think she has like maybe a month or two that she can use. And she has always, every year in the past, has taken at least one trip with one of her best friends to go to the beach every year. But then, I can't, and it's usually during the spring, and I can't because I have to work and somebody has to, be home to take care of the kids. But they're a little bit older now, so, we run the possibility of having somebody come over and visit us, family member, and stay with the kids for a little while. Older family member, either a grandma or an aunt. Grandparents or an aunt to do that. So yeah, she's gonna be pretty fired up when I tell her this. It's pretty fucking cool information. All that being said, other than that, it was a non-eventful Tuesday. Shit's just happening. You get into those modes throughout the year where the routine sets in, and routines are good. Routines, I think, are where you find greatness. Ask any great athlete or not even an athlete, just other people who've been successful, and they'll find that in the daily routine, continuing to grind forward, even when there's times where you don't want to. That's where, in the long run, you get rewarded. Great example of that, and I love using this example, is working out. Without a doubt, there are days I know in the past where I didn't want to go to the gym, but my discipline told me I had to, because in the long run, there were certain goals that I wanted to achieve as far as my body goes and what it was going to look like. My wife's the same way, man. Every goddamn morning she's riding that Peloton. That fucking discipline is inspirational, watching her do it every day. I know I've said this on a prior podcast, but if she's going to take that kind of time and discipline to look good for me, you better believe that I'm going to do my part to look good for her and make sure that I'm going to the gym. Right now it's every Monday and Thursday. Come 2022, we're going to switch it to 3 days a week. Because right now, and I'll take a little aside here. Right now, if you haven't heard me talk about this before, we're in our second phase, me and my stepson, second phase of our quote unquote bodybuilding process. And the second phase is one in which we're finding our max. And when you're throwing up your maximum weight, roughly your maximum weight 2 times a week on the 5 basic strength training exercises that we're doing: pull-ups, squats, bench press, deadlifts, and clean and jerks. You need your body to recover. You need those rest days in between. So you can't be going hard, 5 days a week, 7 days a week. So right now we're at 2, and I set it at 2. And when I did this program in the past, which was about 12 years ago, I think I was set at 3 days a week, but I was also younger, and my body could recover quicker. But now that we're only going 2 days a week, I want that recovery time in there. I will throw in an extra workout over the weekend just for myself, something cardio-based, where I jump on a treadmill, run for a quarter mile, get off, do 10 pull-ups and 30 push-ups, and then repeat that 4 times until I've run a mile. I'll do something like that, but nothing extraordinarily strenuous, because the body has to recover. It's got to recover. So once we hit phase 3 up in 2022, we're not going to be lifting our max weight on all 5 of those exercises every time. Then we go into more of a sculpting phase, and all those traditional bodybuilding exercises that you would do, where you focus on specific muscle groups, like you do 2 or 3 bicep exercises, 2 or 3 tricep exercises, 2 or 3 shoulder exercises, chest, legs, back. So more focused rather than on total body strength and building overall muscle and power. And then after that, after we put on some muscle, then we go to the cardio phase and shred that fucking fat right up, so that once the summer rolls around, I might have some fucking abs again, motherfucker. Yeah. Be nice to lose at least 20 pounds at that point. These days I'm running about 190. I am 5 feet 10 inches tall. That is most likely overweight, but again, I'm also starting to put some pretty good muscle on my frame, and as we know, muscle weighs more than fat. But I without a doubt, I got a spare tire. I got to lose that motherfucker when it comes springtime. So that's something that is definitely going to happen. Anyway, appreciate you listening to me ramble on that stuff. And also good to remind myself and anybody else out there who's just kind of like, yeah, it's just another Tuesday. Yeah, it is just another Tuesday, without a doubt. But we can find something in just another Tuesday. Like when we get back home, when we're making dinner, I'm going to find some enjoyment in hanging out with the kids. I also need to get Christmas lists from them. That's another thing I got to do tonight. And also my son, my 8-year-old, he's got a project for school, like this cultural heritage project. So he needs help with that. But Christmas list is key. I got to start ordering that shit now. And because the grandparents may want to buy the kids gifts, which they have done every year. Both sets of grandparents, my parents and then my wife's mother, have been fantastic as far as remembering the kids on their birthdays and Christmas and other holidays. So you know what? Rather than ramble on, I'm just starting to approach the entrance to my son's school. I'll shut it down right here, right at this point. Wishing everybody a great rest of the night. Enjoy your families. Enjoy if you're going to work now, if you got a night job. Find the routine in there, man. Find the greatness in there. You can do it, even if you don't feel like going. And yeah, that's about it. We'll smell you tomorrow.